From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now all the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, September 29. Rinse and repeat for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies and slightly higher humidity values. Highs will get into the low to mid 80s. Pike Township students head back to school. Buses are running again. It'll be the first time for in-person classes this week. Bus driver sick calls prompted the district to move to virtual learning Monday and Tuesday. In a statement, school leaders say they talked to bus drivers and believe they'll be able to provide transportation, but also caution that sick calls can always change transportation plans. The statement refers to the challenges of the pandemic and cold and flu season. It does not address disputes over pay that some drivers alerted us to at the start of the week. And odds are you are feeling the effects of the labor shortage. It's impacting businesses across multiple industries, with some being forced to change hours or close altogether. News 8's Sierra Hignite talked to experts about the causes for the staffing issues.
Operating hours cut in half because of a lack of staffing. It isn't just a Starbucks or even a fast food problem. Everywhere from restaurants to bus drivers and hospitals have been struggling to find workers.
If you're looking for a job, come see me.
Yeah, we're hiring. Come to District Tap, best place to work downtown.
There's a shortage of nurses being paid enough. There's a shortage of nurses being treated right, given the appropriate protective equipment.
With the pre-pandemic workforce being cut by millions, industries like the food service, hospitality, and healthcare have been hit especially hard.
Well, there was much speculation that this was caused by a rather generous unemployment insurance. Those days are over. We're back to normal.
According to Michael Hicks, an economist at Ball State University, some of the most common reasons behind the labor shortage are connected to childcare, changes in lifestyle resulting in a need for change in work, and workers being dissatisfied with their jobs and getting more training to change careers.
There may be a small number of those workers who are concerned about contracting COVID, bringing it home to a family member, so they may stay out of the workforce.
Over the last few months, workers in these struggling industries tell News 8 that they're overworked and underpaid. So how do you get people back to work?
I think higher wages are going to be one of the consequences of this. I just don't see any other way around it.
In addition to the pay increase, Hicks says that some businesses will also increase their benefits to entice workers, and some may introduce new technology to make up for the lack of staffing.
Some of that will translate into higher costs for their goods, other ones with lower profits for their owners.
Hicks says that some businesses won't be able to adjust their business models and they'll have to close up shop, therefore freeing up workers to fill other positions.
I think the best way to think about this is that labor markets adjust over a period of time.
I'm Sierra Hignite for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Hicks says this is not a change we'll see overnight. Given the current situation, he does, though, feel that the increase in wages and benefits will sustain as the economy and labor force recover. President Biden cancels his plans to travel to Chicago today. It comes as the threat of a shutdown looms over Capitol Hill. Lawmakers have until midnight tomorrow to come to an agreement. A source who attended a Democratic caucus meeting says a vote on a bill could happen as soon as today. According to a copy of the bill obtained by CNN, it would fund the government through December 3rd. It would also include emergency disaster relief funding and billions for Afghan refugee resettlement. So far, Democrats and Republicans have been split on the best way to proceed.
We're doing everything we can to avoid a shutdown, and we should put something on the floor. We hope our Republican friends will join with us in that.
We will not provide Republican votes for raising the debt limit.
Notably left out of the bill is a suspension of the debt limit, something Senate Republicans blocked on Monday. If lawmakers cannot come to an agreement, thousands of government employees, from soldiers to TSA workers, would not get paid. The country could also soon face defaulting on loans come October 18th. And lawmakers are preparing also for a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi plans to hold that vote tomorrow. The vote comes before agreements are finished on a $3.5 trillion spending package. Earlier this week, Pelosi had said that the House would not vote on the infrastructure bill until negotiations on that spending package, the Build Back Better Act, were finished. Top military leaders face sharp questions again on Capitol Hill. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, and Central Command head, General Kenneth McKenzie, are taking questions about the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It's the second day of testimony in front of the Armed Services Committees. They answered questions yesterday about the Kabul airport attack that killed 13 American troops, including a Marine from Indiana. McKenzie and Milley contradicted President Biden during their testimony. In August, President Biden said in an interview that the military supported a full withdrawal instead of leaving support troops.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan.
General Milley, I assume you agree with that in terms of the recommendation of 2,500?
I do agree with that.
Both generals later said those recommendations were their personal opinions. And today, a memorial service for former First Lady of Indiana, Susan Bayh. It'll be held at the Washington National Cathedral. Bayh passed away in February after fighting brain cancer. The Bayhs first revealed her diagnosis in 2018. She was only 29 years old when she became Indiana's First Lady. She earned a law degree from the University of Southern California. Today's ceremony begins at noon. According to the White House, President Biden will be there. State health leaders will talk about Indiana's pandemic progress today. Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Lindsay Weaver are scheduled to speak this morning. Wish TV will stream the entire briefing so you can watch. It's set to start at 10:30. You can watch it on our website, wishtv.com, through the Wish TV app, and on our Wish TV Facebook page. And this morning, the United States is one step closer to COVID vaccinations for children as young as 5. Pfizer now has submitted its data to the FDA and expects to request emergency use authorization for 5 to 11-year-olds in the coming weeks. Health leaders say the shots could start next month.
I would hope that by the end of October, we'll be there. I can't guarantee it, but I'm hopeful that that will be the case.
Pfizer's vaccine is currently fully approved for people 16 and older. 12 to 15-year-olds can get it under emergency use authorization. A new study indicates COVID-19 booster shot side effects are very similar to those of the second shot in the series. Data from the CDC looks at 22,000 people who got a third dose of Moderna or Pfizer. After the second dose, about 80% of people complained of at least one issue at the injection site: pain, redness, or swelling. Slightly fewer people had those problems after the booster. Just fewer than 75% felt at least one systemic side effect like tiredness, headache, chills, or nausea after the second dose. Slightly more felt that kind of symptom after the third shot, the booster. And the CDC also says information on mixing and matching vaccines will be available soon. Current guidance on the agency's website says those who get booster shots should stick with the same brand as their original vaccine. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky told Yahoo Finance that new mix and match data is coming in and that they're reviewing it now. More is expected in the next month. Some European countries and Canada have already given the green light to mix and match the vaccines. And credit for a crime-free weekend. IMPD is touting a weekend without any significant incidents downtown. The department tweeted that downtown was a beautiful place to be and that officers continue to work to make downtown and the entire city a safe place to live, work, and visit. The president of the Indianapolis 10-Point Coalition is highlighting areas where the group works. Charles Harrison shared a picture of his group's safety patrols with IMPD, just showing where they are, what they're doing. He lists how often several hotspot patrol areas have gone a year without a youth criminal homicide. And the owners of a bar in Indianapolis are facing charges for the way they operate their business. Police arrested 2 owners of El Chilo Sports Bar yesterday. IMPD has responded to 29 issues there over the last 2.5 years. News 8's Demi Johnson spoke with people who live nearby who say the arrests are making them feel safer.
Yeah, they say the bar had a history of getting rowdy, and that would often lead to sirens blaring past their homes at all hours of the night. IMPD says the bar has been involved in 29 incidents since December 2018. Nightly noise and several scary situations.
There's always something going on over there.
That's how neighbors like Aaron Prowl describes the scene at El Chilo Sports Bar.
Something needed to have been done. What was going on, I really don't know, but I'm glad it's all coming to an end because it makes our neighborhood a little bit more safe.
And police say what was going on was corrupt business influence and failure to pay taxes. Those are the charges owners Marvin and Gabby Betancourt now face. But court documents also show 29 reports from the last 3 years, including aggravated assaults, narcotics investigations, and a police shooting at their bar. IMPD released this video of the incident, showing a man getting attacked by a group outside. He gets away and then points a gun at the group. That's when an officer shows up and tells the man to drop the gun before firing at him.
You saw the police activity quite often.
Jen Huntsaker says she tried to give the place a little grace. Being a bartender herself, she understands things getting out of control is always a possibility. But she says this bar was just plain bad.
I get off pretty late, so I see like 3 or 4 a.m. what's going on. There's still tons of people out there.
It's a situation neighbors say made them lose sleep at night. They hope a business with better hours and quieter customers takes the bar's place.
A lot of stragglers come out of there and they be drunk, wandering around the little neighborhood, and it's not really that safe of an environment.
The bar owners have their initial court hearing on Thursday, and the man who was shot by police outside the bar last year was charged with pointing a firearm, criminal recklessness, and carrying a handgun without a license. Reporting in the newsroom, Demi Johnson, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And the local organization is looking to close the technology gap for the nearly 3,000 refugee children at Camp Atterbury. The mission of Black Data Processing Associates is to empower diversity. The group is collecting working, used, or retired laptops and tablets that have had the data wiped. They'll be used in an e-lab space at the camp. Software company Casted is lending its space as a collection site. We talked to the co-founder who says getting on board with the project was a no-brainer, and organizers say the lab will give kids further access to education and will also be open to adults so they can take classes as well. And today, an announcement from Purdue University and the U.S. Space Force. The two are partnering together to collect research that can later be used for future work in space. According to the school, the partnership will also develop talent for the government agency. Purdue President Mitch Daniels and the Vice Chief of Space Operations, General David Thompson, will make that announcement. Starts at 10 this morning on the Mall at Purdue. Our I-Team 8 is diving deeper into dangerous driving on the streets of Indianapolis. According to IMPD, reports of speeding are increasing and putting lives at risk every day. I-Team 8's Richard Essex spoke to police about what they say is the biggest issue.
During the pandemic, a lot of us got used to driving around Indianapolis with empty streets. But now that everybody has gone back to school and to work, the streets are crowded again. And IMPD is getting an increase in complaints on speeding and reckless driving.
Schools are back in session. Businesses are back opened up. Let's throw construction on top of that. You know, it's really kind of building to the perfect storm, and people have not yet, overall, adjusted their traffic behavior.
And what we're doing today is school zones, and it's 25 miles an hour, and you were doing 45 miles an hour.
Set up along West 30th Street and a school zone. A made-for-TV traffic enforcement event this morning netted dozens of drivers that were pushing the limits of the posted speed limit. It only took a few minutes for Officer Catherine Hedges to zap a driver with a radar gun. Turns out the driver had never been issued a driver's license and was not the owner of the car. The owner of the car had to come over and get it, and the unlicensed driver will have to explain to the judge why he was speeding and driving without a license. The dangers of school zone speeding came to light a few weeks ago with a crash near an IPS school on the east side of town that killed 7-year-old Hannah Crutchfield and injured 2 adults.
Honestly, we get a lot of complaints throughout the entire city.
Pull over to the right. IMPD Captain Fred Olicki says the department is overwhelmed with speeding complaints. He says setting up this temporary speed trap is not about generating revenue for the city, but it's designed to get your attention.
So it's going to be slowing down. It's going to be putting the cell phone down. It's going to be paying attention to speed limit signs. You know, if all of us, it's giving grace to other drivers.
About a year ago, Officer Hedges was hit by a distracted driver while she was on her motorcycle. The crash left her with a slight limp. She's been on the department for 25 years, and the #1 issue she sees on the street today, distracted drivers.
Social media, anything to do with trying to make a video, you know, while driving. That's a big issue.
One of the questions I had for the officers that were conducting the traffic stops today, is there anything that you could say to get yourself out of a ticket? They said, no. The only thing that can get you out of a ticket is a medical emergency. In Indianapolis, Richard Essex, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And some local students are growing the food to help feed their school. A federal grant is helping Franklin Community High School expand its farming program. The high school's agricultural department received around $72,000 from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And students are using that money to expand its Farm to Table program. About 200 students are in the program that's been around since 2019. A 9-acre garden sits behind Franklin Community High. Students grow blackberries, raspberries, peppers, tomatoes, corn, squash, and pumpkins. During the winter months, they use a greenhouse to farm. Students also raise livestock, including goats and chickens. On Tuesday, they enjoyed the fruits of their labor as chicken noodle soup was served for lunch.
It was one of those things that, this is really nice. It kind of, our hard work was given back to us.
It never ceases to amaze me when you plant seeds and it grows and it becomes something productive and amazing and delicious. And so I have loved being able to share that with my students, and it makes every year exciting and new.
I've done a little bit of everything. I took a semester of horticulture, so I raised some plants in our greenhouse. I've also helped with the animals.
I plan to be a farmer when I grow up, and I want to go into the animal science field. Maybe a vet, I don't know yet. We might be taking a Purdue field trip with the program soon.
Students will also use the federal grants to raise more chickens, expand their apple orchard, and to purchase cattle to serve beef in the cafeteria. Food grown is also donated to families within the Franklin Community School District. Gabby Petito's family is sharing their grief as the FBI intensifies its search for her fiancé. Her mom and stepdad gave an emotional statement yesterday. The family says they're searching for all signs of Petito and keeping her memory alive.
We don't stop, remembering Gabby and keeping her name out there and fighting for other people out there like her. She's always with us every day. She's giving us signs.
The family's lawyer is asking Petito's fiancé, Brian Laundrie, to turn himself in. According to Laundrie's family, he was last seen on September 14th. In Colts watch, the team is back at practice today. They're looking for their first win of the season Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. Injuries are adding to the bad start, hobbling the offensive line in particular. Head coach Frank Reich is still expressing optimism about his offensive front, saying he's seeing progress on film.
I think we're continuing to get better. I think there was a lot of instances where the pass protection was good. I think we ran the ball very well, very efficiently, and good yards per carry, all those things. Quentin was playing great before he got hurt, and Chris Reed stepped in and played well. I think Fish continues to look well. But I thought the whole line as a whole did a pretty good job. We had a few misses. In protection, but that's not indicative of, if you look at the overall game.
Join us tonight at 6 for Wentz Day as Anthony Calhoun goes one-on-one with QB Carson Wentz. He'll have an exclusive inside look at the team as they get ready for Week 4. It is coverage Colts fans will not get anywhere else. And the Colts are heading to Baltimore October 11th. And Wish TV is ready to be your home for Monday Night Football. You can catch every play of the game against the Ravens live on Wish TV. Our News 8 team will also bring you live coverage before and after the game. Today, more than 20 companies around the city are holding a hiring event. Employers at the Indianapolis Job Fair include Coca-Cola, Lilly, and UPS. It's happening at the Indianapolis Marriott East on East 21st Street. It starts at 10 o'clock and wraps up at 2 this afternoon. Masks are required. And a manufactured celebration of coffee. Did you know today is National Coffee Day? So nationaldaycalendar.com with the day also includes some historical factoids. Coffee's been around since the 15th century. Yemen Mucks first roasted beans and brewed the coffee, and beans are grown in more than 50 countries. And finally, 2 business headlines. Arrival times could take longer for mail. You use a stamp to send, as well as packages and magazines. The new changes will go into effect at United States Postal Service offices starting Friday, October 1st. Service that's been 1 to 3 days guaranteed could now take 5 days. And the new changes are a result of the post office's effort to rely less on planes to transport mail and more on trucks. Heating costs may triple this winter. Natural gas and coal are hitting record highs. Those are the fossil fuels behind electricity and heat, of course. Propane heat is also expected to be very expensive in the cold months. National gas prices are up 180% in the past 6 months. The national bus driver shortage continues to disrupt learning despite extra financial incentives. New Jersey, Florida, and Pennsylvania schools, we've also talked about Pike here in Indianapolis, said that they are competing with Amazon for drivers. Amazon is hiring 4,800 workers in Pennsylvania. School leaders worry it could worsen hiring challenges. United Airlines is moving ahead with plans to terminate close to 600 employees who didn't meet its COVID-19 vaccination deadline. United in August said it would require all of its 67,000 U.S. employees to be vaccinated. Now the September 27th deadline has passed, and the airline is starting the process of firing 593 employees who did not get the shots. And Samsung wants you to increase your freezer's temperature to lower our collective carbon footprint, and it has enlisted Vanilla Ice's help to convince you. The rapper has re-released his 1990 hit song Ice Ice Baby as Reduce Your Ice Ice Baby, both to call on everyone to adjust their freezer's temp and to promote its new bespoke refrigerator range. There you go. Now good luck getting that out of your head. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com. allindianapodcastnetwork.com.